Okay, now this is a very popular advice. Think in English. How can I think in English when just the very thought of speaking English makes me forget whatever I was about to say? If I think about speaking in English, I forget whatever the hell I was about to say. How can I think in English? I have to be able to think in order to think in English, don't you think? You cannot just think in English unless you're fluent in English. So in order to be fluent in English, you can't think in English because it doesn't work. It doesn't work both ways. So in order to be able to think in English, you have to first be fluent in English. But people are telling you that in order to be fluent in English, you have to think in English, and it gets way too complicated. I was dealing with a very similar problem when I was in 7th grade, and I talked to a teacher of mine because she was the kind of a teacher who wouldn't allow us to speak in any language but English. So I talked to her and she told me to write everything down. Whatever I was about to say, I was supposed to write it down before I say it out loud. I can take my time. I can take 2-3 minutes, think about the words I have to say, write them down in a proper sentence, and then say them out loud. What difference does it make? Now, before my teacher started to give me the time and space I needed in order to find the right words and formulate a sentence and think about what I'm saying, I would dive right into the conversation. What happens then is I have 3 to 4 seconds to think about what I'm going to say, to find the right words, and to formulate a sentence. And doing all of those things in 3-4 seconds is so stressful that even if you do find the right words and the right sentence, you're going to be too much stressed out in order to say them out loud properly. Okay? So just take your time, chill out, write the sentences down, find the right words, and give yourself some space. And there are multiple reasons behind it. First of all, if I'm about to deliver a message, if I'm about to say something, I have to know exactly what is it I'm trying to say. What message is it that I'm trying to deliver? If I'm not clear about the message I'm trying to deliver, I'll be all in my head trying to figure out the message and the sentence structure and the language at the same time, and it would get all so messed up, I wouldn't be able to do it. So just convert your sentences into English. First of all, you have to give your idea, your message, some kind of image, some kind of words, and then you can try to formulate a proper sentence and then try to deliver it. Okay, so whenever people say think in English, it has to be a very stressful job. It has to be done very quickly. But if you start to give yourself some time, you're going to be enjoying it a lot, and you're going to get much better at it than just diving into the conversation. One of the things which worked great for me was talking to myself in English. I used to deliver myself these very lengthy lectures about how I should be working harder, how I should be managing this and that, and how I should be doing better. So all of those lectures, start trying to deliver those lectures. If you do the same thing, start trying to deliver those lectures in English. And whatever the sentence is that you can't say out loud in English to yourself, just write that down. You can leave that in the comment section of mine or any other person, and obviously they'd be happy to reply because you're their audience. Whenever you're doing everything in your head, it gets a bit more complicated than it actually has to be. And a very easy example for this could be if I tell you to multiply 23 by 72 and you have to do the mathematics in your head, it's gonna be hell. Same goes for English. If you're going to think about English in your head and you're not going to use a pen and a paper, it's going to get a lot more complicated and you're not going to be able to say it out loud. Once you say a sentence out loud and you mess up, the second time you're going to be, your self-esteem is going to be very low, Your morale is going to be very down because of all the people around you, and obviously you're going to make a fool out of yourself. So just don't make a fool out of yourself. You try to look good in every aspect of life. You try to look good in clothes, you try to look good in lifestyle. You don't want people to know that you're a poor moron, but when it comes to English, you want to show people that, okay, yeah, I'm a moron. Don't do that, okay? Reach to a level of acceptance before you start to speak with other people. Next time you think in English and you can't convert some kind of a sentence in English, or you're stuck somewhere, you can feel free to reach out to me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help.